Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cycle 2015. Sorry about the bit of a late start. We had a little technological snafu there, but our guest and former student, Yuri Safronov, is online, and he has a fantastic story, so I'll just get out of the way and let him take it away. Yuri, up. You're up.
Nice. Hello, everybody. Buenos dias, señoras and señoritas. I say hello to you from sunny Canary Islands right here. Maybe the connection is not as good as we wanted. And at the place I was previously, there is a nice view on the ocean and on the cliffs. It's really beautiful, but the Wi-Fi there, it's not working properly. And I moved here to sit on the shadow. That's why it's kind of maybe a better connection and you can hear me properly. So my story is going to be a story about a student who once came to cycle camp back in 2009, and thanks to the cycle, who managed to make his own way, how to make money and how to live, I would say, a happy life. So it all started, as I said, back in 2009. When I first visited KCU's conference on liberty and entrepreneurship. So it was a life-breaking event for me because in this camp I saw and I met the people who were drastically and dramatically different from the people I was previously communicating with. The thing is that people who live in such countries as Belarus, they don't see many things and they don't travel a lot. And the people who were in cycle this year, these were quite different people from what you can see in your ordinary life. What I mean is that all the people living in Belarus, like students and adults and young people and old people, they live quite ordinary lives. I mean, they go to school first, they study hard, they go to university, they study hard there, and then they go to, let's say, work hard all their lives on this standard job and make some money for a living. But they don't see what is the abilities of, what is the possibilities, what are the opportunities in the world that you can use in order to succeed in your life. So back in 2009, there were a lot of different, let's say, entrepreneurs and people from different countries visiting this conference. They told us the stories, how they were making money instead of simple, let me a little bit, can you move from here? I mean, one second.
Можете куда-нибудь пересесть в другое место, немножко мешает. Интернет мешает.
All right. That's just where technical stuff. My story would be starting in 2009. So the people on the conference, those were people from different nationalities and different countries and different occupations. The ones that amazed me were people who didn't work as professors or as teachers at the universities, but the ones that managed to make money working for themselves and creating their own wealth thanks to their, let's say, mind abilities and entrepreneurship skills. There was a guy who decided to skip his US passport and travel around the world looking for different opportunities and looking for ways to make money. He was telling us a story that he went to Japan. There was a situation where the Japanese government decided to change the TVs from the analog standard to a digital standard. And all the Japanese had to change their TVs, and instead of throwing it all away, they had to pay some money in order for the Japanese government to recycle those TVs. And the guy actually he said that I would get your TVs for free and take it away from you for free, basically. That was a good offer for Japanese people because, you know, they didn't have to pay in order to recycle those TVs. He took all those TVs basically for free, and he shipped them to some poor countries like India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and he made shed lots of money on it because those TVs were basically free for him, and he managed to sell them for a cheap price in those poor countries. But thanks to quantity of those TVs, it was, you know, a lot of money for him. That was for us, for ordinary Belarusian students who were told all their lives that you have to study hard in order to make a lot of money, and you have to enter university, you have to finish the university, you have to, let's say, work for a bank, and thanks to your skills, you would achieve a particular career in this financial university, and you would, you know, make your life happy. And those people, they were like completely different from what I saw in my life. And that's why, you know, they told that there is a lot of opportunities around the world, and you can use some of them in order to make a lot of, not a lot of, but at least some money to manage your life happily. So back in 2009, one of them told me about the Forex possibility, like Forex trading. I think a lot of you heard about trading on Forex market and, you know, as a way of living. But not a lot of you saw actually those people who managed to make a lot of money on Forex, especially in Belarus. So he said that there is a special system that you can use in order to make some money. He showed us some stuff, at least the basic stuff, the technical stuff, and said that using your mind, using your let's say skills, financial intuition, you can start trading, and at least start from you know, a small amount of money, practicing, and let's say making it perfect. So that year I didn't have any money as a Belarusian student. I mean, not a lot of money to start. So the next year, 2010, I went to the United States as a work and travel student, worked there as a cook in a cafe, you know, created some capital. I think that year I brought about $5,000. And the next year I invested those money with my trading. I was practicing, I was experimenting, I created my own trading system, which actually succeeded. And it was multiplying the capital, which I used, and it really worked well. Then 2 years after, I do believe it was 2012, I went to cycle again, and you know, Loba asked me, "What's up? How is you doing?" I said, "I'm doing really great," because that was, you know, that was truth. I was trading, I was making money, and you know, I was happy with my life. I mean, those trading stuff, it opened a lot of different, you know, let's say it made me a free person. I didn't have to, you know, get up at 8 a.m., go to work, work for 8 hours, and in the end of the day, go back go back home, and the next day do it all the same. I could, you know, get up at any time I want, but it was still like, yeah, anytime I want, work as long as I want, and I was happy with what I got as a result, as earnings. So that's, if you are interested actually in the specifics of the trading system, I can tell it to you, but I think that the main idea of this event is that you guys, you should look for different opportunities. I'm not telling you just to engage in trading, in stocks trading, in forex trading, or whatever trading, but you can look for different opportunities all around the world, not even in your country, even in the country you live in. I mean, find different stuff. How can you make money? How can you engage in particular activities in order to benefit from it? Because what I believe is that even if you study hard and work really well on the job, you won't be as maybe I don't think it would bring you a happiness, but you should do the stuff which bring you happiness and good money in order to be free. Because money gives you freedom. You can move in any country you want. You can live a life at any way you want, and you can do a lot of things. I think so. So, Lobo, if anybody has any questions, I'm ready to answer. Maybe the story was, a little bit weird because I wasn't actually prepared. Yesterday was crazy, but
yeah, I did ask you at the last moment when we met the other day before you headed off to the Canary Islands, but you forgot the 10% part. Why? Know that while I ask for questions.
All right. So the story name is 10% part, and why is the 10% matters? So back in 2012, when there was a cycle back then, so I told everybody that I managed to make as much money as I was reinvesting 40% of my income, saving 50% of my income, and was leaving for 10% of what I managed to do. And this system, it actually it created enough capital for me to live on this 10%. That's why it's called the 10% story. Yeah. So and it's all started from $10,000, which I managed to make in 2010 in the United States. So yeah, something like that.
Very good. And correct me if I'm wrong, but as I recall the story, you spent $600 hard-earned dollars to get some books and get yourself set up with your Forex account, and your initial investment in yourself was actually in yourself, and then you started trading. Is that right?
Yeah, it is correct, but it was less than $6,000. It was something about $3,000 for books and for their educational program. And I do think it was like $50 for entering the Forex Academy. They had a Forex broker. If anybody knows, it's Forex Club, it's called. So there is an academy where there are teachers. It's all online, but still you can, make a video conference, speak with a person, and this person, he would answer your questions, maybe make some recommendations, and it's kind of paid service. You have to pay $50 per month in order to do so. I don't know, maybe right now it's for free, maybe it doesn't exist anymore, but back in those five years ago, it was like that. Yeah, so
you just decided to educate yourself, and you Googled and you found these resources.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was more mostly self-education. Those online access was just recommendations from the experienced traders, and maybe they were not even traders. They were mostly teachers who knew some stuff, but with some practical knowledge, let's say.
And you were still at university at this time, right, with your regular classes, and you just decided to do this on your own time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I visited regular classes, after the classes, and sometimes even before the classes. I was researching, I was educating myself, and what's most important, I was experimenting. I mean, trading, day trading, and using the trading systems. Well, the trading systems, if anybody knows, it's not a special, system. It's a number of rules which you follow in order to achieve a particular result. So I practically I was, experimenting and trading and, trying to make it perfect.
And if I recall also, you invented your own algorithm or your own heuristic stochastic equation, I forget what you called it, that you used as part of your system. So it wasn't just, I think this is a good thing to buy. You developed your own system that, as I recall, produced positive result 60% of the time. Is that right?
Yeah, this is correct. Absolutely. Yeah, the result changes on different time frames, but more or less, it was 60% of all the trades were profitable. And yes, it was a stochastic equation. Yeah, there was different indicators, technical stuff, but it wasn't that hard, to create. All the indicators, they are pre-installed in your trading terminal. You just have to choose whichever is more suitable to you and apply those indicators on the chart and, make some calculations. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's fantastic that you could do this from your dorm room at the university, and I won't tell anybody how much money you made because we don't want to get anybody in trouble with the tax man or anything, but we see palm trees behind you, and I think people can fill in the blanks however they want. We do have some questions here now from the audience.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to know, did you just stick with Forex only, or did you start trading in other things, stocks and
yeah, I would say that 90% of my trades are in stocks and only like 10% with Forex. Forex is too volatile for me, as I can say, because there are too many things happening in the world which influence the Forex market, and I would say that it's hard to speculate on Forex because of some, particular reasons, let's say. But for me, I do find that Forex is hard to trade, and I only trade when something is changing fundamentally. Like, some government decides to involve quantitative easing. It obviously influences the national currency. Like the European government decided to introduce the quantitative easing, and the euro collapsed from 135 to right now it's 1.05. Yeah, it is what was an event. So in those cases, I do trade on Forex, but on Forex it's more like a long-term trading, and on stocks I do intraday trading. Sometimes I hold the position for several days, but mostly it's a pure speculation when you open and close the trades during the one day.
We do have some other questions here, but I can't resist following up on that. Are you planning on placing any trades with the Fed potentially making the first rate hike in 8 years next month?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do, but not right now. Not clear yet whether they would do it or not. And also, the U.S. dollar, I do think that it's overvalued. I mean, yeah, overpriced. I do think that the value of the U.S. dollar is less than it is now. But it's actually hard to tell. Practically every government is issuing money. I mean, they're simply printing it, creating more and more money. At the same time, the amount of wealth they have, it remains the same. And it's ridiculously how, a dollar can, cost more than it was before when they print more and more dollars. Yeah.
I agree. We don't need to go down that now. Other question from a viewer is, what were some of your biggest losses? Can you tell us some of your big mistakes along the way?
Yeah, sure. The biggest loss one that when the gold collapsed, it was in 2013. If the readers or our viewers want to know the sum of money I lost in this case, let's say it was a number with 4 zeros. Yeah.
Ouch. Okay. We also have a question here from Clark. He wants to know if Bitcoin is a viable trading currency, and if not, what's different about it?
So Bitcoin is completely different from the currencies which national governments are issuing. Bitcoin is the currency which cannot be, there is a limit of Bitcoins which can be issued in the world. So that's why the value of this currency, it still remains. But as for trading Bitcoins, it's too volatile. One day it can cost $200, the next day it can cost $250, and the next day is $300. And for me, the reasons for such volatility the reason for the volatility is the amount of supply and demand which the market faces. But I actually I wanted to test my system on Bitcoin. It doesn't work. It's too volatile, so I don't trade Bitcoin. Do I believe in Bitcoin? Yes, I do. I do believe. I think that it's a valuable currency, and I think maybe it's the future of the world currencies. But you know, everybody knows that the national governments try to resist using Bitcoins in their financial system. But
Yuri, for some reason you're a little bit off center. I guess you can't see your face there. Yeah, that's better. A little bit more would be even better. You're sometimes cutting off part of your face.
yeah,
We believe the other half is still there, though.
yeah, it is.
we have another question here. Are you still involved mostly in this sort of trading, or do you have other businesses now that you've accumulated more capital? Are you in other ventures now?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to look for opportunities anywhere I can see them. Not all of them are profitable by fact, but right now we're working on the website. It's called A to Z Forex. It's a website for traders and for brokers. We publish information about the brokerage companies as well as technical and fundamental analysis for trading. But the main idea and the difference from the other websites is that the website provides an inside information about the brokerage firms. We have several employees who are currently working for multiple brokers around the world, some in Cyprus and other, you know, tax havens. And those people are providing us with the information about the current situation in the brokerage companies. Like we were advising everybody to withdraw the funds from FXCM right before it declared itself bankrupt, and we were advising other traders just to be careful with investing a lot of money in some other particular brokers. So that's why it's kind of useful website, and it's free basically. You can read it, you can access online the website and go ahead and read the useful information. There is a number of analysts working for us, so kind of a good website. I do think that it would become a profitable project. It's not yet, but you know, you had to invest in order to make some capital. So right now we are mostly investing in this project. Yeah, I also involve in different types of business. Not all of them are IT businesses, but trying, you know, to diversify risks as well. Yeah.
When we're done here, maybe you can share the URL with us on one of the cycle discussion forums or something, so everybody can see what you're up to there.
Yeah, sure.
We have another question here. What is the best method to keep commissions from eating your capital?
Commissions? You tell about the commissions that brokers charge you, or some other types of commissions?
That was the whole question. I assume whatever fees you pay for trading.
As for Forex trading, it's not much. They don't charge a lot. I mean, Forex and stocks traders, they pay. You can find different brokers, and different brokers have different commission. I wouldn't say that this is if the system is profitable. The commission does not eat a really big amount of your capital. I think that if the system is still profitable, it would be profitable even with the amount of commission you have to pay. There is nothing for free, so the commission is just a payment for a broker to provide you the services he does. So that's why those people who work for the brokerage companies, they do have to eat something as well. So they have those commissions. You can choose whichever broker you want, but so find a broker with low commission and good reputation. There are some of them right now on the market, so that the commission would not, you know, involve a lot.
Okay, somebody wanted to know what kinds of stocks you like.
It's mostly financial companies, as I'm, you know, a master of economics in finance. So that's why the financial companies all over the world, the United States, Chinese companies, and some European stocks, and I mean the bank stocks and the financial company stocks. Also, it's quite good to trade the things that you know. I mean, if there are IT specialists, they know the stuff. That's why it's better to trade IT stocks. There are a tremendous amount of stocks all over the world in different countries of different companies. So there is no difficulty. There is a difficulty to choose, but you can choose whichever you like. It's not like you need to trade only Apple or Google or whatever company. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I've taken 10 years to become an expert in metals and mining stocks, and if I was to start again, or if somebody was starting, you could shorten that by focusing on an area that you already know about. I didn't know anything about geology before, so it took me some time.
Yeah.
But if I was a geologist, actually, I know several geologists who become brokers and focus on mining stocks. Well, gee, what a surprise. It's exactly what you're saying. It's a good recipe. We have another question here, and I'm not sure if you want to answer this or can answer this, but we'll go ahead and ask it, and that is, do you handle anybody else's money or only your own?
That's a good question, and Lobo knows
Take on clients.
So yeah, I do manage other people funds for a commission of 20% of the profit they make. There was an experiment back in 2012 when Lobo heard the story. How am I making money? And he said, okay, here is $2,000. I do invest in you. I do believe you. Just take those money and trade. Yeah, that was without any, written agreement, without any contract. It was just verbal, word to word. He just believed me, gave me those money. I traded for less than a year. It was like 9 or 10 months, and then I paid him back. I made actually 25% on the amount he had, and I paid him back, excluding my commission. So Lobo managed to make $400, I believe, on those 2,000 investments. So he got his money back plus the profit. And
I would have let it ride.
He would actually make.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he would get if if gold didn't collapse a month before I paid you. So yeah, but it was 25%.
It wasn't bad at all. You had doubled it at one point, right?
Yeah, I did.
I love it.
Yeah.
This was an informal experiment. This was not a taxable event, in my view. Somebody wants to know, I mean, you talked about Bitcoin being too volatile. Somebody wants to know, but isn't volatility good for day traders? Isn't that what they trade on, the volatility?
Yeah, sure, but that good volatility is good, let's say. But what I mean when I say that Bitcoin is too volatile is that it moves sharply up and down, and sometimes it's hard to forecast which way it want to turn. It's all about supply and demand. And if we are talking about stocks, there are fundamental stuff like the company issues reports, and there are news about the company. It has fundamental data. And what about Bitcoin doesn't? I mean, so you have only technical stuff in order to forecast the movements of Bitcoin. I mean, you can write down a chart, build a chart, and move some indicators. But due to the sharp movements, sometimes indicators doesn't reflect the dynamics, because it goes $10 each day. Let's say it goes $10 up, and then it falls down $100, and the indicator doesn't reflect this high movement. So from technical point of view, it's hard to analyze Bitcoin movements, and I don't have enough fundamental data in order to forecast those those events. That's what.
Fair enough. Dimeliadris wants to know if you could suggest 3 books. What do you think would be the 3 best books or websites for beginners to learn about this?
As for me, as for Russian-speaking clients, maybe we have some of those, right? So it's a Forex Club website where there is a Forex Club Academy, which is, I think, one of the best resources where beginners can start, learning stuff about traders. Right now, there is, a lot of websites which offer free ebooks for traders. They offer free courses, even in the office, even in Minsk. It's 2 million city, let's say, and there are multiple brokers who offer, different courses where you can go straight to the office and study together for a week. They offer computers, they offer software, you can practice yourself and so on, basically for free. So it's not a problem to find a book or course to start it. But what I would recommend is going to this for Russian-speaking clients. Go to Forex Club Academy. It's really good. It has really good teachers, professionals, which also, would advise you different stuff. And they have years of experience. The company is already 18 years operating on, a Russian market. Just believe me that 18 years on the Russian market, it's a long.
That is a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah. So. Yeah, something like that.
All right.
For English-speaking clients, I can't actually recommend because all the literature I was studying with was in Russian language. That's why it's hard for me to say. That's why it's like that. But
are there links to any of this stuff on A2ZForex.com?
Yeah, there are. We have also an educational section. It's still under development, but there are some ebooks which you can download basically for free, put some comments and read some reviews of those books, and you can go ahead and research this this page, this page on the website, A2Z Forex.
Okay. Yep, we have that posted in the chat. We'll put it up in the discussion forum later. Ivalis wants to know if competition affects you in any way. Does it matter to you if more people or less people are trading? Does it make any difference?
I didn't hear the first part of the question.
Does competition affect you? If your field is crowded, does it matter to you?
No, absolutely not. It's the market. It's the fair price is when the supply and demand cross each other, and the competition. The other traders who make the same trades or on the contrary trades on the opposite direction, it doesn't affect me in any way. I don't trade with the amounts like the big financial institutions. Let's say Bank of America or Morgan Chase or whatever U.S. bank is. They make billions trades. I don't, so it doesn't influence me that much. That's why the competition is good, I think. And I'm sitting behind of my computer trading. I don't feel this competition. There is a pure market which I face.
I would jump in and add and say the more the merrier. For every long there's a short, and the bigger the market, the more liquidity you have, the more options you have. The more people there are who, if you want to take an extreme bet in a very small and liquid market, you may not find anybody to take the other side. The bigger the market, the more likely you are to find, a long to your short or vice versa.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
All right, somebody, you don't have to answer this, but somebody wants to know where you are and why. With the palm trees.
Yeah, the palm trees. Actually, the first view, I tried to sit down there in order to to show a really nice view there on the cliffs and on the ocean. But the Wi-Fi is there, it's poor, that's why I have to go downstairs and sit in front of palm trees. I'm on the Canary Islands, just vacationing, just in the middle of November, at the end of November, let's say, just because I wanted to. I have enough freedom to do so that's why.
That's a good enough reason. We have a related question. These are personal. You don't have to answer these if you don't want to. But I guess
Yeah.
people are intrigued by what you're doing, and somebody wants to know if you're still living mainly in Belarus, or are you doing the permanent tourist thing, traveling around all the time, or?
I do travel, but not as much as I wanted to. But I do live in Belarus constantly. I do work from there. There are some good places all over the world to work and to live. Maybe Belarus is not one of them, but it's my homeland. There are people that I love, people that I care about, people which I like to communicate in person. So that's why I live permanently in Belarus. But I do love palm trees, let's say, so sometimes to, to enjoy. Yeah,
You'll
good
have
with
to come visit us in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yeah, sometimes, maybe. Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, let's see. Somebody's typing here. Let's see if we get one more question. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and let you get back to your vacation there
All right.
with warm appreciation. Uh, Somebody is typing. So let me just remind everybody while people are typing in the chat, you do need to click on the links for the next speakers. We have our 2 more speakers lined up. And tomorrow, I'd like to encourage everybody to tune in to the discussion at the end of the cycle here. We're going to be talking about, highlights of the cycle, what have we learned, and most importantly, talk about going forward. If you haven't read it yet, there's an essay on the cycle page at Liberty.me about life unlimited and what we want to rename ourselves, how we want to focus, how we want to do a better job going forward. If we have added value to anybody this week, I'd like to ask you to give back a little, give me a little bit of your time, give me your thoughts, help me out here. I love this, I love doing this, I love sharing, I love being a help, a positive force in the world, and I want to do a better job. So any ideas you have, any input you have, tomorrow night's last session, that'll be the time for that. I request and look forward to your input. Okay. Several people are typing, but they're not questions. Everybody's just thanking you and congratulating you and saying things that will make me blush to repeat. So with that, we'll just go ahead and call it quits here. Get ready for the next session. Remember, folks, you need to click on the link for the next session to watch the next show. The chat will stay live. Yuri, thank you so much for taking this time out of your vacation and sharing your wonderful story with us. And congratulations. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry if the story was, a little bit short, or I wasn't seriously unprepared. We were traveling a lot around Europe, and we came here just today. That's why it was maybe not as good as I wanted, but it
No
was a
need to
story
apologize, my friend.
I wanted to share. That's why, I'm
That's right.
here with you all. Yeah.
It's a true story, and that's what matters. And anybody, who wants to could do similar things. All you have to do is decide and have the attitude, keep doing. I mean, you didn't even have the money to start. You went out and you fought for that money that you took to start. I mean, it's just a great story. Thank you again, Yuri. You have a good time.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, and have a nice time too. Bye-bye.
Bye.